One of the questions I get asked frequently from real estate agents is how to increase and maintain productivity. And my simple answer to that is Notion. So in this video, I'm going to take you on a tour of my Notion dashboard where I manage work and life. But if you're new here, my name is Laressa, aka Latin and this is a place on the internet where I help fellow real estate brothers and sisters keep it real estate so you can become that real estate agent. So to begin, I'm going to head over to my computer, and this is actually a demo of my dashboard because, shameless plug, I do sell this on my Etsy shop. So obviously my personal dashboard has confidential and sensitive information, so you're going to get this view only hub right now. So this again is basically what my dashboard looks like. Now this is what I refer to as the home page, and my home page is built in, I guess you could say, different areas. So I have an alignment zone where I can see, my goals, a vision board, this, that, and the other. The next zone is navigation, which is, a fun little deals counter. And then this progression of time, which I really enjoy to see just to make sure that, I'm using my time wisely as time is progressing. Now, under here, I have my pillar databases. So this is roughly, I believe, 10 different databases. This is in a gallery view, or you can also view it in a list view. And then I've just given each database a particular tag, which is relevant to either business or personal life. But I like to see it in a gallery because it's like a tiles tab, so you can click on it and it will take you into that particular database, which is its own dashboard. Now underneath the navigation zone, I have the action zone, which is where I primarily spend most of my time here. So essentially everything that you see here in these 10 databases are feeding different areas of my homepage. That way I don't necessarily have to dashboard hop, if you will, so I don't have to navigate to different boards to see what I want to see. So in this case, I have just created linked database views or synced blocks of information that I just want to see on a regular basis. So as you see here, I have different client tasks, I have my own project task, I have weekly's intention, and as you see here, I like to house everything in toggles because it just makes your workspace a lot more cleaner. Now on this side of the action zone, I have my weekly agenda and journal, which is in just a weekly view, and then underneath that I have my weekly content calendar, so that way I can keep track of the videos that I'm posting and other social media content if I am wanting to plan and then post. And then underneath that I have my weekly workout tracker, which is just nice so that you can also take care of your health and wellness, so then everything is nicely balanced. Now underneath the action zone I have a real estate, which is closings, listings, sellers, and buyers. So this is again just in toggles. This is just in a weekly view, and then your listings in a gallery. So again, this just makes it easy for you to see all the relevant information that you need to see on just one page rather than having to go to that specific dashboard or database. So that's essentially what the homepage looks like. So the bulk of this again is my pillar databases, which feed everything on my homepage. Now one of the main boards that I go to is my agenda and journal. So if I click this open, it's going to take us to this page here, and this is where the database for the agenda and journal is placed. So if I go back to, let's say, this last month here, I need to find some entries. I think it is right here in March. All right, so this is my entries. So basically this is one single database, and I've created different database card templates so that when I go into a specific day, I can click this plus button and then choose amongst the different card templates that I've made. So typically speaking, on a Sunday, I will spend roughly 15 to 20 minutes just building out my week so I know what lies ahead. So in this case, I think I clicked a Friday, so I would click this template here, Friday, and then it would just pull that template for me so that I don't have to manually create it or just create a duplicate. It just makes it really easy for me because you're creating database card templates within the database. So this is typically what the card looks like, and what I would do is go in, open up those properties, and I would give myself a day tag, which basically means what's the theme for that day. Let's say that day was a day off, so I would know. And then underneath that, I have a little template here, which I have priorities, check, and habits. Again, this is all built out in toggles because let's say if I have a meeting, I would just note to myself that I have a meeting this day, that time. Underneath, I have a check for different checklists of things that I need to make sure that I check, notifications, things like that. And then underneath, I have my habits, so I have it in a checklist form. Now, I know a lot of people like to create a separate database for their habits so they can check them off, and then it gives them that percentage of how much they have accomplished that day. But I find that for me, every once in a while or every couple of months, I will change my habits or implement a new one. And so it's just easy for me to just edit that within the template. So when I go to make a new Friday day, my habits are already adjusted. So I hope that makes sense. Next to that, I have the Conquer the Day, which is basically the today's to-do. So these are just manual things that I would note myself to do for that particular day. And so once that's done, I would just click out of here, and then there you have Friday. So you can see your week at a glance, which again is why on the homepage I have that toggle for your week. So this is where you would see just your days, and basically I would just open up that day, and this is basically what it would look like. So I would just stay on my homepage, but to have my agenda for that day opened. So it makes things really easy. And so going back to the agenda and journal, basically this is one single database, and I've just created different card templates for agenda versus a journal. So if I click this down button here, you'll see I have a journal entry, and basically that's just a card template. So if I wanted to create a journal entry for Friday, I would just go in, click that plus button, click journal entry, and then I would just answer the questions that I have in this particular prompt here, and then go from there. And basically, because they are from the same database, what I've done here with this toggle down here, which is my journal log, I have just created a specific filter just to see just the journal entries. So they're just segregated from my agenda. So I hope that makes sense. And that's how I like to use this kind of format when it comes to a journal, agenda, and habit tracking. So that's my pillar for agenda and journal. So if I go back to my homepage, or even if we go to the pillars here, this is again where all of the databases lie. And here next up we have real estate. So this is also another template dashboard that I sell on my Etsy shop. So check it out. Link will be in the description box down below. This basically has its own working video course as well. So with every template that I share or sell on Etsy, I've created a full decked out video course so you know how to use it, because I find that if you just get a template from somebody and then you have no instructions as to how they used it or how they built it, you have no idea to how to use it. So that's just my personal opinion. But anyways, that said, this is the real estate dashboard here that encompasses your client task, important dates in regards to your closings, contingency dates, listing expiration. Again, everything is housed in toggles to make it really nice and seamless. And then your referrals and listings, and then active seller and buyer transactions. Again, this section here, if you can see here, it's in a red halo. When you see that, that's basically a synced block. So I've taken this particular synced block and put it on my homepage so I don't have to come here every day to see what's happening with clients. So that's what I like to do. And the interesting thing about this particular board is that I have created it as a single database for all of your clients. So that way you can track your final sales price for that particular year, your gross commission income and your net commission income, and any referral fees paid in or out. Now, I've gotten questions as to whether this is a CRM. Yes and no. I recommend to those of you who are planning to use this or even purchase this, thank you for your support. I created this with the intention of tracking my in-contract clients. So those clients, buyers or sellers who have signed the buyer or seller agreement, meaning that I am officially representing them and I'm about to be paid out on a particular deal. So I don't necessarily just put random people in here, because it can get really messy. Because again, the whole point of this is to be able to, at the end of that year or quarter, is to track, the sum of your final sales price and this, that, and the other. So going back to my active listings board here, that's what that looks like. It's really, I'm really proud of this, and I have agent partners that use this and they absolutely love this. So again, you can check out this particular demo of this board in the description box down below. So that's my real estate board. Going back to my pillars here, the next biggest board that I have is my content creation board. Again, I do sell this board separately by itself because it's an all-encompassing dashboard that again comes with its own video course here, so you will know how to use it. But that said, this is where I track all of my media platforms. So that's YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, or any kind of media that you are creating so you can post it. And I just like having this as one single dashboard so that I can keep track of everything. Now, the nice thing about this particular database is I've created a different templates based on the content you want to make. So if I click this down button here, you can see here I have a different card template for YouTube, short form, social media, caption template. So this right here is my YouTube dashboard, again housed in toggles to make things nice and seamless. And if you click on this card here, you can see my very robust way of how I like to create my content. So it's a lot in there, but this is basically how you can see your content for that week. And again, if we go back to our home page here, let's go back to the home page. Down in the My Week at a Glance, I have my content calendar, which is in that, I guess you could say, weekly format. Or if I go over here, this is that weekly format. But I don't think I have any content unless I go all the way back to 2023. Keep going. There we go. So this is where that week of content is, and that way you can again keep track of the content that needs to be posted or is going to be posted. So in my case, when I do YouTube, I like to premiere my videos, so I schedule them to go out at a specific day. I clicked the wrong one. Is this one? So again, you can click on it and you can actually pull the card from that database template. So without having to actually go to the content creation dashboard to see this particular page, again, I've created a link to the database view on my homepage. That way I don't have to dashboard hop. So that's the whole premise of why I created this dashboard the way that it is. But essentially that's what the content creation dashboard looks like. Again, we're on our homepage right now. I have projects and tasks. So this particular dashboard is not related to any clientele. This is just projects and tasks that I want to keep track of. And so this is just for me. So this can be, of course, in regards to your business life or in regards to your personal life of things that you need to do, that you know you need to do, and that you have to track it, because if you don't put it in your dashboard, it don't exist. So this could be things like, in this case, creating a website or, learning how to use this hub. And so basically, again, this is a single database. So actually, I like this. This is two databases. So basically you have the projects database here, again, housed in a toggle, nice and seamless. And then you have your task database here. So basically with this particular dashboard, I have created a relation to the projects dashboard to the task database. So basically, if I open up this card here, we can see here that all of these tasks here come from this particular dashboard here. But because there's a relation between them, you can see this completion bar here. So basically, if I have two tasks for this particular project. If I complete the first one and I just hit done, it's going to say the completion is 50%. So that's basically how it works. And again, I've created different templates for myself, so that way when I have a new project, I just can easily click this button. It will create that template for me and it'll be within the database. Now I have all these different kind of views for my database, so you can see it in a board view. This is a Kanban board view, which I like to see, or you can just see just your active projects here in this kind of chart, if you will. You can see it in a timeline or just all projects regardless of their status. And very similar to down here, if I go into my task here, you can see I have just to do. So basically what I'm doing, because the task has different properties, I'm just filtering the status by to do. So that's basically what that is. But that's, again, all my tasks and projects related to each other, not related to clientele, if you will. Now, going back to my pillars database, this rolodex here is your digital rolodex, which is kind of part of the real estate pillar here, but I kept it as its own page just so you can see information by itself. Now, the nice thing about doing this is the fact that if you wanted to share information with your clients, you very well can do that. Basically, you can either publish this page as its own website, if you will, or you can publish just a single database. So if I go to here, let's go to listings and vendors. If I go here, I could publish this. This is already being shared, but I could publish just this specific database and then give my client the view for this particular page, and they can actually see, basically your context list for that particular genre of contact, if that makes sense. But that's what the digital Rolodex is, related to real estate, essentially, or just anybody you want to keep track of in terms of your context list, really. So again, this is not like your client's contact list. This is, again, just vendors and service providers that are related to real estate, if you know what I mean. Now, going back to our pillars here, next I have testimonials, which is also related to real estate. Now, again, I kept them separate because when I created this first board here, I didn't include a database for testimonials, but when I created this new this new dashboard, which is called the Hub, I created a separate database for testimonials, and then I created a relation from this database to the real estate client database here. So I know that sounds quite confusing, but let me open this up. You can see here, these are particular clients that have given me a testimonial. And let's say for Mickey Mouse, if I click him open, you can see here, this kind of up arrow. When you see that, that's a relation property. And basically, I'm relating this particular piece of data to the data within this other board called the client transaction tracker. So basically, if I click this here, this profile here, it's going to open up Mickey Mouse's real estate profile. So when I was working with Mickey Mouse, this is what my intake looked for him. And then when that property closed out, you can see here the status now is closed and complete. But essentially, if I go down here to client testimonials, Mickey Mouse review, this is that card. So this is related to that, if that makes sense. Okay. So again, I've just used a relation just to connect the two different databases. So that way you can see all of your client testimonials in one board and then your client transactions in a separate board. So that's client testimonials. Going back to pillars here, I'm going to go into the Learning Hub. Now, this is basically where you keep track of any books or courses that you take. Now, in this case, I've created two different databases, one just for books and one just for courses. I mean, looking back now, I probably could have used just the same single database and then just created a property to choose either a book or a course. But I didn't do that. So as you can see here, I have a gallery and a table, status board, so to read, reading, or finished. And essentially what this is again is just a card that I've made for myself. And then if you wanted to log your reading sessions, I created this button here. So if you click on it, it will insert a new date. But basically, you have to insert that date and then note here how much time you spent reading and any other notes that you want to keep track of in regards to that reading session. So again, that itself is a database card template. So if I click this down button, I created this template for myself so that if I want to log a book or, log a book, this is what that template would look like. And in a similar fashion to my database here, courses taken, again, I created my own little template here. So if I open this up, you can see here, this is what that will look like. These are all the properties. And then again, I created this button here. So again, you can log your learning sessions as well. So that's what that looks like in regards to Learning Hub. If I go back to my pillars here, we have goals and visions. This particular page, these two, the weekly intentions and monthly intentions, as you see here, they are being highlighted in red. So this is a synced block that I've put onto my my homepage. So if I actually click on the 6 dots here, and you see here this arrow, if I click this down, you can see here that this is coming from the goals and visions, but I've pasted it onto the Hub homepage. So you can see here, original, this page, that's what that looked like if you were creating synced blocks. So if I took this and posted it or pasted it onto my homepage, that's why you would get this red halo saying that it's a synced block. So basically, if you make any changes here or on the homepage, the information would be synced. So basically, every week I would go in and just write out my weekly intentions, how I'm feeling, the mindset that I want to carry into that week, and just tasks that I know that I need to prioritize for that week to make it a good, productive week. So again, I would do that basically. I go in and do this every Sunday Sunday or Saturday, just to prep myself for the week ahead. Same thing with the monthly intentions. Basically, these are just buttons that I created. And then because I created a button, it has a specific toggle. So if I click new month, click here, it says insert month. So you would just put the month in the year. And then again, you would just open up that toggle and then just answer any of the relevant questions that you put yourself there. So I'm going to delete that. But again, these two here are on the homepage. So if I go down into my here into my action zone, I have the toggles here. So basically, I would keep my weekly intention toggle opened while I have opened my agenda for that day. So I bounce back and forth to make sure that, okay, I am keeping on task of what I need to do. So basically when I'm working, I have this particular page opened on a different tab. So I have 2 monitors. I just keep this open all day. So I make sure I'm doing what I need to do. Going back to the, back to the goals. Besides your weekly intentions and monthly intentions, I have the full picture here, which is basically just your vision board, if you will. And then you can add a picture in here, and then you can also open up that card and then write out as to why this goal is important and what you need to do in order to get closer to achieving that goal. And again, it's highlighted in a red halo, so this means it's on my homepage, and so I have kept that particular toggle in my alignment zone, so I can just keep this open and just, it's a reminder of your why. And so if you don't want to see it, you can close it away or open it for inspiration when you need it most. So there is the goals and visions board. And then second to last, I have my brain dump, which is basically my wiki page of anything that I found relatively helpful, whether it's an article or a video or a tutorial. I just keep it logged here so I don't forget about it. So that's why I call it Solutions to My Problems. And then I just put everything in toggles, so that way you can, again, keep track of those videos. And the nice thing is when you embed YouTube videos, you can actually then play it directly from your Notion page. Turned on. You get the idea. And again, I just put that away in a toggle to keep everything nice and seamless. Now, lastly, we have the, brain dump. I probably should just do that so it's nice and in order. Wellness, which is my, I guess you could say, workout tracker database. So I actually have 2 different databases on here within these toggles. So the first one is my healthy habits, which is basically just a gallery of these particular things that I want to note to myself to keep top of mind when it comes to my health and fitness. And so again, this is just its own database. I created a simple little template here. And so basically if I open this up, it's just that. I just put whatever was here, and then basically when you do that, you can see just the card itself. You can also add in images if you wanted to as well to give yourself a visual reminder, but I just find just seeing just this is enough for me. Again, down below I have my workouts calendar or database, and again, if we go back into the March here, we can see here all of the workouts. So basically what I've done in this case is I created a single card. This is a template, and basically what I've done is I've created different properties. And so I've created workout type, and if you'd like to lift weights, you do weight training. Sometimes you'd like to do a certain split, so I do that. And then you can keep track of the duration, and then once you finish that workout, you can click the done button. You can check this and then rate the intensity of that workout. Now again, if you lift weights, you might want to track your different exercises, sets, weights and reps, things like that. This is just what I use personally, so I just put that in there. And then basically, again, same thing with my agenda. I would go in every week and just curate my week of workouts ahead. So let's say in particular this 26th, this is a Tuesday, this is that card there. And then you can see here the workout type was weight training, body part, full body weight training session, duration 45 minutes, rate the intensity after you do the workout, and then once you're done, you can check this box here. And again, as I mentioned, on my homepage, I have this as a linked database view. So if I scroll down to my week at a glance, I have just the weekly view of my workout tracker. So again, as mentioned, when you're done that workout, you come back and just click done, so you know you did it. You can open this up and see what you did, and then go in and rate the intensity. So that, my friends, in a nutshell, is how I manage to keep track of my life in terms of using Notion for work and business. I put everything into one dashboard, which I have found to be really useful over this past, I guess you could say, year and a half. And again, as mentioned, I do sell this particular dashboard on my Etsy shop, so check it out. Link will be in the description box down below. But if you made it to the end of this video, please comment down below hashtag #NCrew so I know you a real one. And if you want to learn more about Notion, then check out this dedicated playlist here, or check out again my demo of this dashboard on my Etsy shop. But with that said, thank you so much for watching, and if you're ready, get ready to click in 3, 2, 1.